Pregame.com.
The two best conferences in all of college basketball go head-to-head here in the Sweet 16. This is Brad Powers, Pregame.com studios, just off the Vegas trip. We are indeed talking Sweet 16 action. We have the number 5 seeded Clemson out of the ACC taking on the number 1 seed Kansas out of the Big 12.
Kansas has been playing basically in their backyard the last 3 weeks. This game's in Omaha, another favorable spot. Who do you like?
I like Kansas here, the rested Kansas team here, minus the 4.5. And to me, it's all about this Kansas team peaking at the right time at the end of the year. Let's take it back just about 6 weeks ago when the entire country was ready to throw Kansas in the trash. Kansas might not win the Big 12 regular season for the first time in 13 years. What happens? Light switch goes on for Kansas. They end up winning the Big 12 regular season title. Then Kansas wins the Big 12 Conference Tournament title without their big man, Azubuike, and in the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament, couple of impressive performances. Should have been a couple of covers, if not for a late three-pointer. Kansas, in meaningful games, they won every single one of them here down the stretch.
Now, many would argue that, who have just been watching the Big Dance, that Clemson is playing very well at the end of the year, but that really has been just a Big Dance phenomena, and it has an asterisk, correct?
Yeah, Clemson really hadn't. Prior to the NCAA tournament, 3-5 straight up their previous 8 games. You know, and been missing one of their best players in Grantham. And here's what happened in the NCAA tournament. Clemson played a darling as far as the spread goes, New Mexico State. Clemson was only laying 3.5 to New Mexico State, the popular public underdog. So kudos for Clemson for dispatching that team. Then I think a great spot for Clemson, playing Auburn, who I thought was the most overrated team as far as the top 4 seeds entering the tournament. Especially without McLemore. I didn't upgrade Clemson that much for blowing out the Tigers.
Talk to me about Kansas's big man. He's been banged up. He was held out of the Big 12 tournament, hasn't played a lot of minutes. What's his status?
He's going to be, Azubuike's going to be as healthy as he's been in the last 3 weeks. So you're right. He misses the Big 12 tournament. That's a huge upside. Kansas wins without their 7-foot center. The Big 12 tournament, a great conference with 4 teams in the Sweet 16. Azubuike only plays 3 minutes in the first round game. Then the big plus side finally plays 22 minutes against Seton Hall, gets 10 minutes. Now with 5 days rest, I expect him to be near 100%.
Your second key handicap.
Let's talk about the experience edge here for Kansas, particularly in the Sweet 16. 3rd straight appearance for Kansas in this round, off back-to-back dominant Sweet 16 performances the last 2 years. Taking on a Clemson team, uncharted waters here for the Tigers. They haven't been to the Sweet 16 since 1997.
And let's talk experience in coaching. You are the master in college football at finding really good coaches with time off, and historically how well they've done. Bill Self, this is a good spot for Kansas.
Yeah, it's all, you know, Urban Meyer with extra time to prep in college football. Well, Bill Self with extra time to prep. You look at the games, you know, whether it's the first round or the Sweet 16 round, he's 26-5 straight up. In the Sweet 16 round, 9-3 straight up, 8-4 against the spread. That's not too shabby. Last year, as good of a performance in the Sweet 16 as anyone's had in probably 20 years. They killed Purdue by 30-plus points. On the flip side, Brownwell for Clemson, never coached in the Sweet 16. Clemson, again, hasn't been here in 2+ decades.
You and I both got down on KU a little over a month ago, gave it out right here, 20-1. Figured the committee would give them a very, very favorable draw. That's what's happened. Let's roll Rock Chalk Jayhawk, make it official.
Yeah, make it official here. Take Kansas minus the 4.5. Kansas peaking at the end of the year. They've won every single meaningful game. That only one loss against Oklahoma State, meaningless for them, and they get it back their healthy center in Azubuike. Plus, Kansas, massive experience edge in this one. 3rd straight Sweet 16 performance, repeat straight appearance for Kansas here, taking on a Clemson team. Hasn't been in the Sweet 16 since 1997. When it's all said and done, Rock Chalk Jayhawk to the Elite 8. More videos at pregame.com.